still in this weird, delusional denial that it's all going to be fine. Why are we in a weird delusional denial that everything's going to be fine? Because those newspapers kept telling us. And yet, for a significant swathe of the nation, utterly unrepresented by mainstream media, utterly unrepresented by mainstream media, these conversations must just sound like we're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic, having another conversation about soft and hard Brexit, when you're just out of the country now. You're a nurse. You've left. You're a young person looking for an outward society in which to live and grow and work and pay tax. You're off. You've gone. If you've got another language, you're out of here. We're rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic while the younger generation are either voting for Jeremy Corbyn and policies which are utterly at odds with the national narrative and what the national conversation has been for at least the last 7 years, or they're just clearing out. Our neighbours from other countries, they're gone. They're going. They're just going. I don't do ludicrous anecdotal extrapolations, but I'm about to. I think, I don't know when the next proper count comes in, but just in terms of driving up and down England on the motorway, which I do most weekends, we've never seen a quieter country. It feels to me already that there is a demonstrable diminishment in the number of people out there just getting on with stuff. I don't know, and it will take a while to filter through or to know in any meaningful sense whether it's true. Maybe people just can't afford petrol anymore, so they've left their cars at home. But it just seems to me that the media it's barking up the wrong tree, and I don't think it's deliberate. I don't think it's a massive conspiracy. I think that billionaire newspaper owners generally encourage an editorial line in their newspapers that benefits billionaire media owners more than anybody else. But of course they dress it up as us being on the winning side. Look, here's a really unfair system, but you're going to be one of the beneficiaries of the unfairness. So what do you think of unfairness now? Yay, more unfairness. I'm on the winning side. You haven't had a pay rise for 7 years. Price of every single thing you buy has gone up and is going up further. You haven't had a pay rise for 7 years. Yeah, but, you know, Labour, there was no money left. You remember that note he left? There was no money. Yeah, but there's even less now. All those policies designed to reduce that debt have failed. So I find it despicable for a politician who was Home Secretary throughout that period of austerity to now say, oh, yeah, we're going to try something else now. The front page of the Times today, austerity is over, May tells Tories. And George Osborne is still grinning in the editor's office over at the London Evening Standard. The architect of austerity somehow thinks he's had a good week. So I think I'm going to ask you a question I should have asked you once a week for the last 7 years, and I'm really sorry that I haven't. I'm going to ask you how austerity affected you, is affecting you, has affected you, will continue to affect you, even if the top line from the government and the headline in the Times is that it's now over. So what are we looking at? Wages or benefits that you were expecting to receive and no longer do? Disability benefits, probably, a little bit like social care for old people. That's the thing that's too horrible to contemplate, so we just don't look at it. Unless it affects you directly, pretend it's not happening. Nothing to see here, out of sight, out of mind, till it becomes too late, as is now happening with social care and dementia sufferers. I reckon the disability benefits cuts will, to historians of the future, look positively Victorian in their callousness. And we've spoken about it, what, together 3-4 times? It's pathetic. I've let you down, and I'm very sorry. Let's try to make some amends, albeit probably too little, too late. How has austerity affected you? If you're a copper, talk to me about the pay rises that you haven't had. If you're a nurse, talk to me about the freeze that you've endured. And talk to me also about the cuts to your workforce and how that's impacted on the treatment and the service you can provide to the rest of us. If you're a teacher, tell me what it's like to be like the teachers in my kids' school, wondering this week how they're going to make up a £90,000 shortfall in funding. And yet, by all means, tell me there's no magic money tree. But remember that we've just spent 130 million quid on an election that was designed to enhance the majority of the sitting Prime Minister and ended up wiping it out. Austerity, your story. Anything at all on this? Okay, phone lines are wide open. 0345 6060 973 is the number that you need. And the people who will be most uncomfortable with this conversation, people who know that I'm telling the truth.